What's up, everyone, and welcome into episode number 578, where it is my honor and privilege to introduce a special guest story in this episode, and that is Air Force swimmer Tanner Wilson. Tanner, thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you joining on such a busy schedule.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Zach.
So, how's things been going over there at Air Force? I know that this is kind of a childhood dream for you to go to the Air Force Academy to be a future pilot. I know you've wanted to fly since you've been 8 years old. How's it been kind of living out that dream a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there's there's always the elements of kind of what you dream about and all that kind of stuff, sort of the experiences here where it's like, man, this is sweet. This is crazy that this is what I get to be doing. There's also a little bit of like reality hits you. Like obviously when you're 8, you're not thinking what
Yeah,
are the nuances of college. So yeah, like it's intense for sure. Trying to balance school and some of the military stuff, packed weekends, little time to kind of rest and try to get after all that. But
yeah,
yeah, at the same time, just trying to practice the gratitude and appreciation. And yeah, I got the opportunity to combine a lifelong dream in kind of coming here and hopefully, so long as medical and everything continues going well,
yeah.
fly with a lifelong passion in swimming and just continuing to race and get that opportunity. And yeah, I mean, day to day, everything changes, but overall, I think things are going pretty well.
Good.
And yeah, that kind of switch from sophomore to junior year next year, things are on a really good upwards trajectory as
Good.
well. So already pretty good, and then going to be really, really great for the next couple of years.
Awesome. Do you have to like pinch yourself at points, kind of getting to do the thing you grew up wanting to do, but then also still getting the swimming aspect, really kind of having that love for sport, getting the opportunity to do both at a school that you've always wanted to go to?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of pinch yourself in both ways.
Yeah,
Echoing the first answer, like sometimes you're on the peak of the world, you just had great meet, great whatever it is. You find out you have this opportunity, heck, even like a day-to-day flyover thing. We have the Thunderbirds that are doing aerial demonstrations above us all week, building up for the class of 2026 graduation.
yeah,
Um, so there are moments where it's like, wow, this is a crazy opportunity, and like I'm not interested in it. I'm not like building to it anymore. I'm here and I'm doing it. But then there's also the
absolutely.
like, man, this is what I'm doing. Right when you're sweating through a non-breathable uniform and
Yeah,
doing whatever on like a weekend morning when you're like, man, I really wish I could be taking a nap right now. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, echoing the previous answer, I think with all this, but it's going really well.
That's awesome. And obviously a big reason why, or one of the reasons why you end up going to Air Force was the swimming part of it. What was it like being recruited to swim at Air Force and then finally getting that call of just saying like, hey, like we are really interested in you? Because I can only imagine your coaches on the phone being like, hey, like Tanner, we really like you. We really like what you do. We'd love you to come to Air Force.
Yeah, I mean, I think my recruiting journey was a little bit interesting. I had kind of points in my high school career where I was dropping time and I was looking pretty good, and I had a few colleges that were talking to me, but overall, I wasn't necessarily consistent or quite fast enough for
Okay.
many schools to really kind of put a stake on me. But fortunately, Coach Rob here, he he kind of saw my development potential, I think.
Yeah.
Saw some of the time that I was dropping. I actually, before he really started recruiting me, my dad and I flew out here to kind of just unofficially visit. And I
Okay.
just emailed him, like, hey, I'm a swimmer. I'm not where I need to be right now, but I still got a couple years. Would you mind just meeting with me real quick and talking me through the program, what you need to see from me.
Absolutely.
So I think that face-to-face interaction did a lot for me. But then, yeah, had some other schools that talked with me, had a few other phone calls, but I had a decent number of schools. Never, even like other mid-major, other smaller schools. Like I wasn't trying to set myself like UT Austin or something, but I had a lot of schools still, as a lot of athletes do, kind of never respond, start
Yep.
ghosting me, just straight up tell me, we think you're slow. We found this
Yeah.
other guy that we're going to take to fill the spot that you would based on what you do. So good luck.
Yeah.
Hope you find somewhere else. But yeah, coach here, he brought me on a visit at the end of my junior year. It was the only official visit I ever actually got.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, so it was a little surreal getting recruited by the dream school, but then I don't know. Naturally, I mean, you kind of are if you're going to be doing college sports. I'm a competitive person, so being
Oh
like,
yeah.
like this is clearly where I want to go, but they're also the only people that are even interested in me.
Yeah.
It gave me both a lot of joy to be getting recruited by Air Force, a lot of joy to commit and come here to swim for them, but I think also a little bit of a chip on my shoulder that I've used to fuel some of the training, try to get after and perform higher.
Exactly.
Kind of set the goal first of like, okay, I'm going to beat out everybody that was recruited
Yeah.
above me. Um, and then, okay, now let's try to be better than the schools that told me no, like be better than
Exactly.
the breaststrokers, stuff like that, which we're still
Yeah.
working on that one, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of fast people out there.
Absolutely. And it's almost kind of like the same type of mindset you see like NFL players have. Like there's specific like NFL players that know like how many specific wide receivers or what running backs or like people that were taken in front of them. So it's like you have that chip on your shoulder of saying like, hey, like you didn't take a chance on me. Like I don't want to say I'm going to prove you wrong, but I'm going to really put in that extra effort. I have a coach that truly believes in me and the coach at Air Force. What did it mean to you for your coach to basically take a chance on you, but also meet with you on a quote unquote an unofficial visit that had to mean so much to you just knowing that, hey, yes, this is a dream school, but this is a guy that truly does believe in me when there's other schools, there's other coaches that, like you specifically mentioned, that doesn't or that you're a little bit too slow for them.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a couple parts there, but with the chip on the shoulder, yeah, I grew up. I'm a huge Seahawks fan, so this past Super Bowl was great for me. But
Yeah,
I
you had to
remember
be
Richard.
celebrating that one. That was a great
Oh,
win.
I loved it. But yeah, I had Richard Sherman growing up. Yeah, fifth round pick, and he let everybody know that they were stupid for letting him be a fifth round pick.
Absolutely.
Um, I'm not trying to talk my head off quite as much as he does.
Yeah.
Absolutely love him as a sports role model, but yeah, I try to talk a little less.
Yeah.
But yeah, with my coach here, I mean, I think that's been one of the things that's kind of meant the world is like if if he kind of thought along with the rest of everybody else, then um, if I came here, I would have had to choose what is most important to me
Yeah.
because we have a relatively small roster and it's been I think 3 years since a walk on has been able to make the roster
Okay.
by final cuts. So if I hadn't actually gotten recruited, I wouldn't have been able to come here and swim here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd either have lost out on my swimming dream or my Air Force dream. And so yeah, kind of having having the coach who's as experienced as Coach Clayton is, and has that perspective to sort of look at you, see your potential, see what he thinks you can do, and then I think one of the big things for him is he kind of looks at like the person side and both will you do well at an academy,
Yeah.
which is a key thing, obviously, from a coaching standpoint. And then also, do you have that desire to train, compete, win and be the best that you can be. And
Absolutely.
yeah, I think he saw some of that stuff in me, so I kind of came in. It gave me a huge appreciation for what I have here and the opportunities that I've gotten.
Yeah,
Yeah, just up that desire to kind of sort of prove myself, develop myself, get faster, for myself, for my family, for him, for the opportunity that he gave me and the chance he took on me. Because yeah, if I
absolutely.
plateaued, I would not have been good at
Yeah.
all. But yeah, fortunately, he saw that I could do something, put the blue chip on me, and yeah, meant the world. And I've had a lot of progression now in college, with hopefully a good bit more to come.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest part of it is like you can be the greatest swimmer in the world, but for a lot of schools, it's about culture fit. It's about the person. Like you want to have someone in that room that really truly believes in not only the goal, but like is a good person. And obviously, I think your coach obviously saw that kind of that chip on the shoulder mindset that you had. And obviously, it led you to an opportunity to swim Air Force, which is something that is a really unique opportunity. Do you remember though, like finally committing? Do you remember like that
Oh,
phone
oh yeah,
call? Do you remember kind of that moment telling your family like, "Hey, like let's do this, like let's ride."
yeah. No, so I remember. Um, he hadn't actually told me, but our kind of media director at the time, she DM'd me and kind of congratulated me on getting a blue chip, which I
Okay.
hadn't officially committed yet, but that was essentially uh, coach telling the admissions board that to like put my application, like if I'm qualified, put it through, because again we're only about 10% acceptance,
Yeah,
maybe. Uh, and that's even with the people who make it through all the congressional nomination applications and all that stuff. So it's difficult to make it. So he put the chip on me to be like, okay, if this kid is qualified and he decides to come here, we want him to swim. So the, I got the message from our media director saying, congratulations on getting that blue chip.
I love
And
that.
that was pretty exciting. And then a couple months later, I had a phone call with coach, and um, we'd scheduled it in advance, so I wore my Air Force shirt to school that day. And I told one of my, I think it was like my third period teacher or something, "Hey, can you let me slide out of class real quick? Um, I have a pretty important phone call." Uh, and I went down, and my dad had actually driven to school to be there on the call because coach hadn't yet asked me to commit or anything like
Okay.
that, but I knew at that point that I wanted to.
Yeah,
So we were kind of excited about it. So my dad drove down, hopped outside of the classroom, sat in the car with him, talked to coach, good little conversation at the end. Would it be all right if I put my official commitment now and then got geared up to officially sign here in like 6 weeks? And got the go ahead green light. So celebrated with my dad, called my
I love
mom,
that.
celebrated with her a little bit, wrote my official commitment, went back up into class. I brought a little Air Force pennant too. So I
Oh,
walk
I
into
love
class
that.
and I was feeling it a little bit. So I whipped out the pennant and celebrated with a few of my buddies. And my favorite teacher was there too. So it was a pretty good day for me. Really memorable. And then to cap it all off, my dad and I both absolutely love tea.
Okay.
It's just like a random little thing. Um, she had this really like fancy, nice bag of kind of Japanese matcha green tea, and we had been saving it for a couple of years. We bought it a couple of years earlier. We were saving it for something big,
I
so
love
we
it.
pulled it out that night and had a celebratory mug of tea.
I feel like you don't hear people have a celebratory mug of tea, but I think that's obviously perfect. Like you have this specific bag of tea for a special occasion, and what's a bigger occasion than committing to Air Force to swim? Like I can't think of one. Like that probably is up there with maybe one of the greatest moments of your life, I had to assume.
It was spectacular. Yeah, and we took a picture as we were getting the tea out and everything. Like it was a really good day for all of us.
Good. I do
Yeah.
have to ask though, how was it? Was it good tea or was it a little bit
Oh my gosh, it was
disappointing?
delicious. It was.
Good.
I mean, maybe there was just the natural excitement of the
Yeah.
events of the day, but I have tried it again since in a less amped up situation, and
Okay.
it is really good tea. Yeah.
I was just going to say it would be a little bit disappointing if you had this bag of tea that you're like, I've been waiting for this big moment. That you're like, oh, it's just okay. Like
It's
it's
all
not
right. Yeah.
great, but
No,
in the moment it was.
that would have made me really sad because no, I love tea. I've probably, I mean, I have a whole bin of it up on my shelf. I have
Do
probably
you
20 different kinds, various bags, various loose leaf. I have a couple different loose leaf mugs
love it?
specifically here. Like
Okay.
it's one of my kind of, I don't know, weird things, but I love tea.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with loving tea. What's your favorite tea you've ever had? Is that up there, or do you have a specific one?
That one's pretty up there.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much any Japanese tea. I've been fortunate enough to visit Japan one time,
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
all the green tea I had while I was there was just phenomenal.
I bet.
Um, I think jasmine is pretty good depending on what food you're eating with it.
Okay.
Um, Obviously those are more basic type of teas. I think I'll mess up the pronunciation here, but there's a Chinese tea. I want to say it's like pu'er or something like that.
Okay.
It's PUH-ERH. It's a fermented tea. A lot of people like put creamer or sugar, a little bit like coffee with it. I prefer just as is, like steeping the
Okay.
tea. Tastes very earthy. That's an excellent one. And then another one that I've liked for the past couple years. One of my really good high school friends is Iranian, and I went over to his house, and his mom gave me tea that they had. It's a black tea with cardamom. It's called Sadaf,
Okay.
and that one is really, really good too.
I don't think I've ever had hot tea. Maybe I've had it one or two times, and not the biggest fan, but I'm sure it probably takes a little bit of time to get used to, or maybe a little bit of time to enjoy. Maybe I need to try it again after this podcast.
I mean, yeah, I'll always say try more tea, but yeah, it's definitely a little bit of what you're raised on, what you enjoy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love all of them. Trying new ones, it's great.
Love that. Who would have thought a swimming podcast would be talking about tea? But
Yeah,
that's what makes it fun. Is you never necessarily know the way it goes, but obviously you end up committing. You end up having the call. You end up committing. You end up being with your dad. You tell your mom. You obviously make the announcement. Hey, I'm committing to Air Force. There's obviously things that come with committing to Air Force, right? Like there's parts of it that you know that come with it. Obviously, the military training side of things. Obviously, the academics. Like it's a really difficult school to get into. It's a really difficult academic school once you get there. Did you really know everything you were getting into, or did everything really kind of hit you once you really arrived on I Day?
everything hits you just continuously.
Okay.
There's something new all the time, and yeah, like I mean, I've been here for 2 years now, but we've been having some massive leadership changes. So even the experiences that I've now kind of gotten used to
Yeah.
are we'll see what the full extent of it might look like, but
Okay.
it's very likely that the next 2 years are going to look pretty drastically different than the previous 2 years. And then, yeah, definitely like when you get recruited, they tell you like some of the things that you'll be going through, some of the things to expect. They'll
Yeah.
prepare you a little bit. You have somewhat of a grasp of what you might be getting yourself into, but yeah, you get there on I day, basic hits you, every day of basic hits you in some different type of way.
Yeah.
And then you get into the academic year, school starts up again, and you're trying to get your brain switched over from basic training to, okay, how do I do college?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, the having a team definitely helps kind of prepare you and give you a little more insight into what to expect, a little bit more preparation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a trial and something that you have to experience and learn yourself.
Yeah, because your teammates have been through it before. Like they kind of understand, or at least they've been through similar experiences. Maybe not the exact same ones, but at least they can help you kind of through that time. Or even like the other freshmen, like they're kind of experiencing the same things. You can, so you can really kind of rely on them to really kind of get through the more difficult days. And then obviously you have the swimming side of things, which is probably a little bit more of a quote unquote get away, a little bit more of a return to normality a little bit for you.
Return to normality in a way, yeah, kind of in the this is what I've been doing forever. This is something I'm used to.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the style of swimming, like training, competition, everything, the way that teams work, teams interact, college is a very different swimming
Okay.
than high school, club, younger age group swimming.
Yeah.
Um, and then throw on top of that that I kind of getting into it my freshman year. Um, I had a really bad sinus and respiratory bacterial infection coming out of basic,
Oh, that's not good.
and
That's not gonna
oh,
help.
it was horrible. Yeah, I got it mid basic, and it lasted 8 weeks before I was finally able to get antibiotics, and
That's
uh,
crazy.
it was horrible. It yeah, it had me messed up a little bit. The first time I tried to swim after basic, we had the pool long course. Everybody was hopping in for just warm up. I got 150 meters at a very slow warm up pace before I had to like get out, throw up over the pool deck, start throwing up repeatedly into a trash can. Luckily the vomit only lasted a couple of days, but after that, my lungs were so fried from the respiratory infection that I like initially could barely get through all of warm up without coughing. And pretty much it started with just like, okay, can I do 15 minutes of practice today before
Yeah.
coach sends me to like the steam room and just try to work on breathing a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first month of a little over a month of my college swimming career, luckily before meets, but while I was training, it was a little bit rough.
Yeah.
With the illness, so wasn't quite a return to normality per se, and
Yeah.
I was definitely having a rough time. I think coming out of basic, it definitely made it a mental challenge, but yeah,
Absolutely.
you kinda just work your way through that, and then eventually you get accustomed to the way that college swimming is, and then, yeah, it does still serve as kind of that place where you're able to relax and be at home, be
Yeah.
yourself, and focus.
What a welcome to college swimming moment or like month, right? Like that's nothing you would ever expect. And you really had that introduction to kind of the sport a little bit. And you mentioned obviously it's a little bit different of training, a little different like way of things works. How long did it take you to kind of like settle in and like really kind of understand the difference between club swimming, high school swimming to college swimming, and what are the main differences that you noticed really early on from those compared to swimming at Air Force?
Oh, man, yeah, I mean, I think my freshman year for the racing, I started to really figure out college racing, I would say early November of my
Okay.
freshman year. That's when I started to compete well at meets again, start to drop times, start to kind of say like, okay, this is the level that's both expected from me
Yeah.
that I can do on a more regular basis and kind of the standard to hold myself to with all of that. I think I doubled down on that, like, I started to figure out freshman year. I figured out more this past year. Training, I think, um, there's still parts I'm figuring out. I'm
Okay.
really not great at aerobic, but I'm kind of starting to understand both the science behind the training a little bit more, and then also how to
Yeah.
get more out of myself with all that. I think I learned a lot of that this past year with sophomore year.
Okay.
A lot of like technical aspects of the training.
Yeah.
Uh, Culturally, shoot, I'm still figuring it out. Like, uh, yeah, just the way that college swimming is, every new class changing over. Um, yeah, there's still a lot of parts that I am figuring out with how college swimming operates, and probably won't figure out until I graduate.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think the main differences, like club swimming, it's kind of a show up, and your coach is there to he's gonna coach you, he's gonna help you get better. I think I had a really great club coach. He kind of focused on building up a really good base for
Okay.
us, which I think has enabled a lot of my drops in college. I think a lot of people try to specialize and do very specific training
Yeah.
too young and don't have a base to build that off of. Um, Whereas my club coach kind of built that up and has allowed me to get a lot better by specializing in college.
Okay.
Um, but in club, your coach is kind of there and facilitates and develops you based on how much buy-in you have.
Yeah.
In college, I mean, you have people that want your roster spot,
Yeah.
so you kind of have to be bought in. Like
Yeah.
you're getting after it.
There's almost
You're
no choice, right? Like if you're not bought in, you're out of there for the most part.
exactly, yeah. I mean, if you're not bought in, then it's gonna be mentally and physically draining, and you're not even gonna want to be there.
Exactly.
So yeah, like just the sort of, I'd say, intensity of character almost
Okay.
with people rises because everybody's more. I got to get it more at stake. I
Yeah.
think in everybody's perspective in college.
Yeah.
Um, so if done right, it can really feed off of each other. I'd say our team this year has done that really well, especially within the breaststroke group. But yeah, yeah, I think sort of that intensity of things has been one of the biggest differences.
And that intensity of things also comes from, like you mentioned, like certain expectations. Like there's certain like demands of you. Like you need to perform at a certain level, right? And that truly can probably take not only a mental toll on you, but a physical toll on you as well. If things aren't going well, if you're not performing to those standards, there's going to be people that are going to pass you. There's going to be people that want it more. And that really, truly can take a toll, especially when you have the academic side of things. How are you able to balance all of that? Or is it still like the swimming mental, physical side of things still kind of helps a little bit more on like the academic side of things as well?
Man,
Or or were you able to really kind of separate them for the most part when it comes to like the demands as being a cadet from the demands as being in the pool?
yeah, I mean the demands, the intensity of all that, like it can be really difficult to separate and really think about those things at times, I'd say. Because yeah, I think, well, first off, there's all the demands on your time with what the academy expects of you,
Yeah.
plus what swimming expects of you, and if you want to have any type of a social life. Um, so yeah, it's a lot about priorities, setting, okay, what's important to me. You obviously have to meet the standard on everything. So you kind of put in, figure out the system of what's the energy, what's the balance that's going to put me at and meet the standard.
Yep.
Um, and so for me, I kind of realized my priorities were do well in school, do well in the military side of things. I use that to give myself a good class rank, good standing, set myself up to be a pilot.
Yeah.
to get a good picks and have the medical stuff and then have the class rank to do what I want to do out of here. But while I'm here, I kind of realize like my swim career has however long left that I'll be fortunate to get. So
Exactly.
that's my top priority is okay, I'm meeting the baseline that I need to in these other areas, which isn't like minimum standard, but what's my baseline? Where do I need to be at?
Yeah.
And then how much extra can I do? What's the extra mile that I have the energy to give to swim then?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, with the intensity of that, with the perspective, with as you were talking about, kind of the mental and physical toll, it does definitely build up. And like there have been times where I've either whether it's been getting sick or dealing with various stressors, have had some pretty intense mental and physical tolls, and that affects everything else, obviously. So you got to kind of keep a balance. And then, yeah, I mean, one of the other things I didn't kind of really touch on is the social aspect of things. Any relationships you want to have, like trying to balance the tolls and the intensity and the time, and especially kind of the mental side of things. Like you can figure out physical recovery,
Yeah.
figure out your food, you can figure out, okay, massage, stretch, all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, dealing with the mental tolls and then trying to build relationships and really balance all of that can be, I'd say, one of the most draining and toughest things. And probably one of the places where I've had some of the biggest shortcomings is I know I've certainly been so obsessed with swim, both before here and while here, that it has interfered with some of the quality of my interactions with other people as well. So yeah, that's one of my goals moving forward is kind of find that find that balance, continue to fine tune and adjust all that stuff
Yeah.
so that I can minimize the impact of the drain on me and really be as good as I can in all the areas and then really, really hit swing.
Exactly. And obviously, having, like you mentioned before, having a team obviously helps with that. I don't want to say you kind of have built in friends, but you have a brotherhood. You have people that have gone through what you have gone through. How has the Air Force Swim and Dive continued to build that brotherhood? And was that brotherhood like for you guys? And how important is that, especially when it comes to kind of the relationships that you're talking about and really kind of getting away from the mental stressors that you experience every day?
Yeah, I mean, having buddies that you can, uh, for lack of better term here, just shoot shit with and
Yeah.
uh, do the things that'll allow you to, whether it be vent or just get away from and not really deal with a lot of the nonsense and tough stuff that you have to deal with. That's always really important. I think specifically on the team, class after class for at least the past several years, every class trying to make their improvements what they see as what the team needs to get better at.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely, I think, led to something where the majority of the team is pretty close and bonded, and a lot of guys hang out with each other
Good.
outside just swimming as well. Like it is kind of that kind of community, and it builds. I think in the times when it's been done right in our history, it's created teams where there's that inherent trust, and it kind of allows that culture that also allows us to succeed in the pool because we know all the guys, we know what every guy's deal is, and we know kind of what's the way to motivate them, what's the way to get them to buy in, what's the way to do all this stuff so that
Yeah.
the whole team is on the same page, pushing each other, kind of iron sharpens iron a little bit,
Absolutely.
feeding back into the pool, and then also providing everybody an outlet. Now, obviously, sometimes you're trying to combine 24 different personalities onto one team,
Yeah.
and kind of the senior class is really shaping, okay, this is what we think it should be. So it changes a little bit year to year. And so everybody has a different degree of buy-in. Um, I know that was also one of my kind of struggles was getting in with the team per se.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I think sometimes I am, sometimes still feels like I'm maybe a little bit on the outside.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot there, but I think that for at least the past few years has sort of been one of the big focuses on for the team is how can we get 100%
Buy-in.
kind of buy-in
Yeah.
because we see teams whether it's through size, through personality or anything that they're very kind of clicky and then it kind of erodes trust, erodes performance, and just creates a worse atmosphere. So
Yeah.
everybody's been trying to slowly work towards how do we need to define ourselves so that we have the right people for the full buy-in, full trust, full brotherhood, as you said,
Yeah.
uh, so that we have the people and as a result also have the performance.
Exactly. And that's one thing that I don't think is talked enough about is just not only the importance of like the buy-in, but like how difficult it can be, right? I think a lot of people view athletics college athletes as like, hey, this is like a dream of theirs. Like, hey, they're getting to do all this cool stuff. Like, we'll obviously talk about some of the cool things you've gotten an opportunity to do in your 2 years so far at Air Force, and those are great things, right? Like, those are great opportunities. I'm sure a lot of those guys on your team, some of them will be best friends for the rest of your life. Like that's just part of it, but it's about trying to find a balance. And there's going to be times where obviously I'm sure there's some people that butt heads. Like I'm sure there's probably some people that disagree with certain things from time to time. But like at the end of the day, as long as you have that team culture, as long as everyone has similar to the same goal, having everyone on that team that has been there for the last 3 or 4 years is going to be extremely important because for a lot of teams in college, you don't have that anymore. Like it's ever changing, even though like every single year you guys have different kind of goals, it's still kind of the same guys.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, there is the butting heads, there's all that. I mean, that's what you naturally get when you have 24 type A
Yeah,
competitive athletic males sharing a locker room.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, we definitely kind of have a performance oriented team and a deep desire to all be on the same page, all the same goals we have, and hold each other accountable. In our team room, we have a whiteboard, and just all season, everybody has their own personal, like you put a name and like 3 to 4 mid-season, end-of-season goals, 2 to 3 things that you're going to do in practices to accomplish those goals.
I love that.
We have those in a ring, and in the center is our team goals. So for this year, our team goals were get the tank back, which refers to an oxygen tank, half painted in Wyoming colors with the Wyoming logo, University
Okay.
of Wyoming, and half Air Force with the Air Force logo. A giant oxygen tank, and we race Wyoming like 3 times a year,
Okay.
in different invites, conference, dual meet, and all that. Um, but whoever wins the head-to-head dual meet between Wyoming and Air Force wins the tank.
Okay.
And they sneaked out a nonsense meet against us my freshman year.
Yeah.
So we came back, we annihilated them this year.
That had to feel pretty good.
Didn't even let it be close. And it felt really good. We got the tank back, and then our second goal, we drew a giant ring and just put ring season in all caps. And we got our rings. We just ordered them, so hopefully I should be wearing a nice little championship ring here pretty soon.
How did that feel? And I also believe you went to nationals as well, correct?
NCAA's, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, this one's got the
yeah,
logo on this right here, but
yeah.
yeah.
How did that feel?
I mean, yeah, all the accolades, all the successes this year were pretty remarkable. I mean, winning an event at conference feels pretty sweet.
Yeah,
You get to do your little celebration and yeah, just kind of show up and show out. And it's Division 1, so you get to do that. But then also that's fueling for the team, and then the team kind of all feeds on each other, builds to higher performances. And then we get to the point where on the last day, we're at the last relay, knowing that we've won. Like even if our relay DQ'd, we would still win.
yeah.
And everybody just kind of losing their minds, genuinely just ecstatic, joyful, and yeah, like a feeling of completion, and everybody's kind of just there. We have all sorts of pictures, all the videos. Um, we wear our flight suits to the last day of conference championships,
Oh,
so
I
we
love
all
that.
jump in the pool wearing our flight suits to celebrate winning. Just all that stuff. Yeah,
And,
spectacular time.
and those are memories you're gonna have for the rest of your life, right? Like you have
Oh yeah.
that moment of jumping in the pool, and I'm sure there's no better feeling as a swimmer to jump in that pool, to also win a meet at conference. You mentioned celebration. You got to do a celebration. What was your go-to celebration? Did you not really do anything?
I mean, I didn't really know. I didn't put too much thought into it.
Okay.
I I was joking about doing a little bit of rivalry stuff.
Okay.
But I was just excited. I was being a little giddy, so I just did
Yeah.
the classic jump high out of the water, come down and slap it,
Love it.
yell, point at your team, yell more, all that kind of stuff. It was fun.
And you get a ring too. You also got to go to nationals as well. What was that nationals experience like at NCAAs?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was quite the same excitement per se as
Yeah.
conference, because conference, like, you're with the whole team, you're with all the guys, and we won. So that was pretty sweet too. Just a lot of that energy and feeding off of each other there. Kind of that team win made it really, really nice.
Yeah.
NCAA's was an awesome experience in a totally different way. Um, Obviously I kind of just made the cut this year. So I was morning only swimmer, did all right, didn't score any points or anything. Um, but knowing that I had really nowhere to go but up, I got to kind of just experiment and try swimming my races just a little bit differently while still being fully tapered, shaved, suited, all that. Because like you don't really get many opportunities where you're at your prime condition, but you also are in such a sort of situation where you can experiment with what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I was able to just kind of play around with things. I figured out something that might really work in my 200 for this next year, something that definitely did not work in my 100 that I
Okay.
should not do again.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so there was kind of that just really good opportunity in what I was able to do with myself. Really good opportunity in I'm there with basically, because I mean swimming's so international in the NCAA.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
basically there with the best of the world
Yeah.
and watching what they're doing. And yeah, so I was able to really kind of key in on, okay, what are these guys doing? What is their technique? How are they manipulating the water? How are they manipulating themselves? Talk to some of them about training, about perspective, racing, mindset, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And really just absorb what's going to help me train and race better so that I can hopefully be in a final next year.
Exactly.
Um, and then also just, yeah, the sort of rewarding feeling, accomplished feeling of racing in the NCAA pool. Like I I usually at the end of a season, I like anything I won, anything I kind of got during that season, I try to pack it away, um, hide it, put it in a box back home, save it in storage. Don't really like look at it or pay attention to it. Kind of just start fresh every year, basically
Absolutely. Makes sense.
starting from zero. Yeah, no, I haven't won anything. I'm starting from zero, all that. But I did this year hang up my I have it right here on my board, my um student athlete pass for NCAA's, the that we had to wear to get on deck.
Awesome.
Because obviously that's the meet where I want to do more at
Yeah.
next year. So I have that hanging there as a sort of you were here, let's get back with more vengeance, more fury, more fire and intensity, ready to do more and get more at that meet. So very accomplished, but
Absolutely.
also kind of really left a hunger for what can I do there?
It's motivating, right? Like it's like I've been there before, but I didn't reach where I want to go to. And obviously, like you mentioned, like you've maybe figured some stuff out there that you can use for next year. And that's the most important part is development. When you talk about college athletics, you want to get better every single year. And development is a huge part of that. It's about taking what you have done in the years past, learning from it, getting better. Obviously, technique wise is a huge thing. Technique in swimming is a massive thing, especially for, I'm sure, breaststroke and fly, right? Like the two events that you swim. You have to be pretty good technically wise to be really good in that. And obviously, like that's stuff that you'll continue to work on. And obviously, with the results that you got last year, it's that chip on your shoulder mindset that's truly never seemed like it's gone away for you.
Yeah, I mean, chip on the shoulder, I think there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of like I mean, I definitely kind of feed into it myself, I think. I think
You kind
there's
of
a little
have
bit
to,
of
though, don't
oh,
you?
100%.
As a college
Um,
athlete, especially D1, you have to. You have to have that type of mentality, in my opinion.
yeah, no, I think it definitely helps a little bit. But yeah, sort of it's transitioned maybe a little bit towards hunger as opposed to chip on the shoulder, but I think that's still a little bit there in that like I was bottom of the barrel at NCAA's and the way that the mid-major qualification worked this year, it kind of left a little bit of like, okay, I know I didn't do great there, and I know some people were kind of doubting that I could,
Yeah.
um, just generally speaking. And so kind of yeah, a little bit of the chip on the shoulder of I want to go back next year and I want to be like, yo, I can throw down.
Yeah. Like I
Uh,
deserve to be here.
exactly. Yeah. And yeah, I think that's kind of the goal is do what I can, show up and really, really prove myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of as we're speaking on the technical stuff, there's a lot of strength gain, a lot of explosiveness that I have to make. I really got to work on my kind of power, my fast twitch muscle development, and get some more front end speed. I'm very much a back end racer.
Okay.
Um, but there's still a lot of technical shortcomings, especially in my breaststroke pull, but also in just fluidity of everything and body line. I've made a lot of strides from freshman year, a lot of strides from high school, but there's still a lot about the way I swim that's shorting myself of the power, the strength, the efficiency that I could get out of it that could make a significant difference
Yeah.
in an NCAA race.
Yeah, and that's what more time in the pool is going to do. That's what more time with your coaches are going to do is hopefully address that, hopefully make you maybe a better starter, but also obviously being a really good finisher as well is extremely important, especially for a really close race. And when you said that, the first person that came to mind, I obviously know he swims different events than you, but the 2024 Paris Olympics with Bobby Fink is like he's just away from everyone, and then you just see him slowly but surely starting gain ground. Or even if you want to go back all the way to the US versus France, right? Like no one expected the US to win, but it's about coming down at the very end. And I think that's
2008,
obviously,
baby.
yeah, that I think that's a great thing is that you have that type of finishing speed.
Yeah, no, that's always been one of my goals. I think one of the swimmers I'd recommend you kind of look at. I don't have it to his level remotely,
Okay.
saying, but if you look up Matt Fallon,
Okay.
he's a Penn swimmer who made the U.S. Olympic team in 2024. I think it was his Olympic trials race from 2024 would be a really good one to watch. I think that was the one that he set an American record.
Okay.
Even like his NCAA swims are hilarious to watch because he was 200 breast specialty,
Okay.
but he was such a back 50 swimmer that you'd see him like dang near last in the heat at the 150, and then he'd burn everybody on that
Yeah.
last 50. And yeah, just blow him out of the water.
Love that. Yeah, I would definitely have to watch those videos. I do want to put you on the hot seat though. You bring up the Olympics. Olympics are going to be in the US in a few years for summer. Is that
Hell yeah.
a goal to try to get to the trials, or is that a little bit far away that you're not 100% sure?
I'll definitely be going to trials.
Okay.
That'll be shortly after I graduate. Well, definitely in the sense of I haven't swam long course in a while. I'm quite confident that my times, once you transfer them, would qualify me for Olympic trials. Knock on wood that I stay healthy
Yeah.
and able to swim, and I should be racing there. My goal for 2028 will be get in a breaststroke final at Olympic trials, be in that top 8.
Yeah.
I see you got top 2 to actually go to the Olympics,
Yeah.
but there has a cool program called World Class Athlete Program, where essentially your full-time assignment for a few years in your early mid-20s would be to train for the sport that you, yeah, for me, that'd obviously be swimming, but
Yeah.
Olympic related program, you get a few year full-time military assignment, your active duty military to train
Oh, that's
in whatever
awesome.
sport is. Um, and so I would like to do that as my assignment until 2032 after I graduate from here, and be able to train 4 full years. Obviously, the Olympics are an insanely high milestone. There's so many good swimmers out there, so
Yeah.
who knows what is possible. But yeah, my biggest goal, what I would hope to do is get into that WCAP program and set myself up for the best shot I could, just training long course, see what I could do
Awesome.
between 2028 and 2032.
Well, I hope you get into that program. I know swimming has obviously meant a lot for you, and it'll be a really cool opportunity, right? And it'll be a really cool experience if you got in that program. Obviously, it would be a really cool experience to go to trials. Obviously, Olympics are being LA, so that would be incredible if you're able to make the team. Obviously, really difficult to do, right? The U.S. are pretty dominant in the pool. Some of the best swimmers are from the US, but those would be great experiences. But I also know that you've already had some really cool experiences. What has been the coolest experience you've had at Air Force in the pool, on the swim team, and outside as a cadet?
Um, I I think the coolest experience in the pool has probably been those big championship meets,
Yeah.
which feels like the obvious answer, clearly. Um, but yeah, whether it be U.S. Nationals last summer in 2025, um, I got to meet and talk with Bobby Fink
Oh, did you really?
in the warm up pool. Yeah, I got to swim with all sorts of world record holders, all sorts of Olympic rings. Do it again. NCAA's this year. I think those meets are a lot of fun just because it's a little bit low pressure experimentation for me because I'm
Yeah.
not quite the like kind of contender yet, but it's been a good opportunity to be like, okay, what do I need to do? What can I do to get myself to that contender level? And then a great
Exactly.
opportunity to watch those people that are at that level and figure out, okay, how do I adjust and manipulate my swimming
Yeah.
to kind of emulate that and set myself up uh, for something better. Um, so I think those have been some pretty remarkable experiences. It didn't hurt that U.S. Nationals last summer during prelims had a little section where they had puppies on the pool deck too. So
That
I got to
that that sounds worth it to me just
some
to go hang out with the
really
puppies.
cute puppies. Yeah, no, that was so adorable. Get out of a race, go change, and then go sit with a really, really cuddly dog for 20 minutes. It was awesome.
I love that.
But yeah, outside of the pool, uh I think there are some great programs. I know all my buddies last summer did powered flight. They
Okay.
really enjoyed that. I have some friends who are on the Wings of Blue,
Yeah.
which is a parachuting team. They're obviously not on the swim team, but I mean, yeah, that's one of the coolest things. They have parachuted into NFL games. Like
Yeah.
it's some pretty remarkable stuff. I think for me, the experiences I'm most looking forward to are actually this summer, outside of the pool
Okay.
deck. Uh, Here in like 5 days, I leave to go tour an F-15 base in North Carolina,
Oh, that's awesome.
Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. Yeah, I'm really excited to just go out there, see fighter operations, see if that's kind of my calling.
Yeah.
And then additionally, I'll be working as flight cadre for the first half of basic cadet training later this summer, starting at the end of June, just under a month now, going
Okay.
into the kind of first half of July.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that's a really great opportunity to be able to work that and be able to kind of help usher in the next generation of USAFA cadets.
Yeah.
Gently welcome them to the Air Force,
Yeah.
but
A little bit.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because you obviously have your experience, what you think about your cadre when you go through basic, but everybody that has worked it will tell you that it is the most rewarding, like, military program that they've done here.
I love that.
And yeah, hearing that from everybody, being given the opportunity to do that for myself this summer, I'm beyond excited.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, how excited are you to be on the other side of that compared to obviously being the cadets that are coming in having to experience the basic training side of things?
Night and day. I'm
Night and
actually
day.
excited. I'm really excited to do it. Basic is hilarious at times. Like when you're going through it, it's kind of described as the most fun you never want to have again.
I've heard of that
Um,
saying, yeah.
yeah. So like there are a lot of funny stories. There's a lot of good things looking back that really suck in the moment.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of things you do in the summer that have you waking up at 4:30 in the morning.
Not really.
Working basic is one of those. So yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be exciting. But at the same time, like it's totally worth it to do. And there's a lot of good stuff that comes with that.
Absolutely.
And I couldn't be more excited.
Would you be willing to share one story from basic that you can remember?
So during the second half of basic, we have this training area called Jacks Valley.
Okay.
While you're out there, you live in connexes, which are basically tiny little shipping containers that fold out a little bit.
Okay.
Um, and you throw like cots, but bunk bed style cots,
Yeah.
into these connexes, and you have 16 people shoved in this tiny little room, and all 1,200 basic cadets are shoved in these for a couple of weeks. Your bathrooms, though, are obviously separate from them. They're these buildings that will have like 6 stalls, but the stalls are pretty much just a toilet. There's no like
Yeah.
door or anything, so everybody's just staring at you while you
Yeah.
and you're looking out. They have a couple of troughs in them, and then they have these showers where like you see all the pipes, all the everything. The lights are super dim and flickering. You feel like you're kind of like in Saw or something.
Yeah.
Um, but there was one particularly bad day in those bathrooms. You can't have fun in those bathrooms. Like while you're on it taking a deuce, you'll play rock paper scissors with the guy that's in the stall across from you that's also doing his business.
Yeah.
Because you're not allowed to like talk and make noise, but you're just sitting there and you want to have fun. So
Yeah.
the things you do are
Get away from the cadre a
the
little bit.
yelling and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was one day, uh, I think the chicken salad sandwiches or something that we had at lunch might not have been refrigerated enough.
Oh,
Everybody's guts were a little messed up.
yeah.
All but one of the stalls in my squadron's bathroom on the men's side got clogged up. There was like an
Oh,
inch
that's
and a half
awful.
of standing water on the floor. It was heinous. It was so gross. We had to clean that up. Try to get a couple of the toilets working. And then later that night, the timing on some things got messed up. And usually every squadron has 5 flights in basic,
Okay.
and each flight has like 8 girls, 20 guys, give or take.
Yeah.
Um, so usually it'd be 20, 22 guys going through to shower at the same time,
Yeah.
out of jacks. But I think it was the same day, or maybe it was the day after. The timing on the showers got a little messed up, and only 2 of my squadron's 5 flights had gone through in the normal way before they were like, guys, we have not that long until taps and all the basics have to be in the connexes. So the cadre went, okay, how many guys are there left that have to shower? All right, we're gonna give y'all extra time, but all 65 of you get in there right now. There's not space for six. Like
No.
you're tiptoeing on your cheap flip flop, um, trying to like change and go shimmy and go shower, quickly rinse off, and then go back and again tiptoes like nuts to butts,
Yeah.
trying not to fall into another naked dude.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, that one was a little bit of an intense shower experience,
Yeah.
but yeah, fun little time.
Yeah. Fun basic story, right?
Oh yeah.
It's something
The
that
thing
you'll
where you're
never
in the
forget.
moment, you're like, why am I doing this? But you look back and you're like, man, I showered with 65 other dudes.
You're like questioning
Plus,
you're like questioning
but
everything. You're like, why am I here? Like, what's the point of this? But then, hey, you have that experience. You look back at it and you laugh a little bit, right?
yeah, the funny things in hindsight.
Exactly. That's what makes it all worth it, right? Is the funny things, the fun experiences. Obviously, you had a lot of those. I know you're really looking forward to this summer. I know you're really looking forward to the tour. I know you're also really looking forward to obviously being part of the flight cadre, which are going to bring in the next people that are going to the academy. And I think that's a really cool experience. I really hope you have a fun summer. And I really want to kind of wrap up with two last questions, then we'll wrap up with the fast run. I know I've been keeping you for a long time, so I don't want to keep you for too much longer. But
Always.
right now, we've kind of already mentioned a little bit about like the brotherhood, right? We've already mentioned a little bit about the team, about like it's a lot of the same guys. Like there's no such thing as for the most part as the transfer portal, as NAL at Air Force, at Service Academy. Why is right now the best time to be an athlete at Air Force, especially when there's just so much else going on in college athletics?
Consistency, I think, is the main thing. Like you see so many coaches, so many athletes, so many just everything constantly flying around to different places everywhere. So the whole like I have buddies, almost all my buddies that I know in college have transferred at least once. Coaches have gone all over the place, and coaches that I called at one school are now coaching at a different school
Yeah,
and all this stuff. Um, Air Force. Our head coach has been coaching here since 1997, 1998.
L-
Um,
Long time.
oh yeah, our associate coach, he is going into his fourth year here,
Okay.
but he intends to stay for hopefully at least the next decade.
Yeah.
Um, we our strength coach, he is pretty firm with the program, and he's one of the greatest coaches and just people I've worked with in my life so far.
I love that.
Um, it, I, we love our strength coach. He's awesome.
Strength
But
coaches
yeah,
are the best, aren't they?
they're they're a blast.
Yeah.
Such a good time. They come up with some diabolical stuff, but they're awesome.
Is your strength coach blasting music early in the morning?
Uh, it varies. Usually, he tells one of us to pick a like radio,
Okay.
like song or artist radio to put on.
Okay.
Um, and then we bump that. But yeah, no,
Okay.
it's a really good time. But yeah, just the consistency to kind of get back to answering your question. Um, I think that's been one of the things that's really helped me develop is because we maintain the same coaching staff, maintain the same team. Like our older guys aren't leaving. We aren't having a constant
Yeah.
like our influx is the freshmen. Our outflux is the seniors. We have a very similar group of people, similar training. We have because our coaches now know, okay, these are the people that we have. This is what worked and what didn't for them last year.
Exactly.
And our coaches are staying the same. They're able to tweak and fine tune all of these things to really maximize progression. And I think that's why you see Air Force being one of the places where people improve the most.
Absolutely.
If you look at Instagram and look at our account, we do something called Time Drop Tuesday. Not every Tuesday, but we just showed one of our graduating seniors. Um, I'd have to pull it up, but I think his 400 IM while in college dropped from a 359 his senior year of high school to a 346.1.
Pretty good.
So yeah, dropping 13 seconds in a 400 IM in college, I would say is not not a
No.
shabby performance, especially when you were already sub 4 and then you're dropping that down to 346.
Yeah.
Um so yeah, like I think that consistency, that ability to just work within the program and constantly fine tune, get to know yourself, get to know your team, get to know your coaches, and have that year over year consistency really allows us to embrace our strengths, show up our weaknesses, and be very technical and intentional
Absolutely.
and have the chances to grow closer with the team. And then also have that development that is a lot tougher to achieve at other schools, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and having that consistency, like you mentioned, really helps with that development. And I know one of the big goals, one of the main goals is when you go to a service academy, when you go to the Air Force, the importance of developing future leaders, right? Like you're going to eventually be an officer in either the Air Force or there's a Space Force now as well. Like you're going to be a future leader, about developing those future leaders. How has that consistency in the pool, on the team, but also the development there on the academic side help formulate who you are, who you're becoming, and really the leader that you are currently and who you're going to be in the future?
I mean, I couldn't really tell you who I am right now, if I'm being completely honest. I think that's one of the things. You're always learning more throughout your whole life, but kind of psychologically speaking, you don't really fully become who you are until mid 20s ish. Um, both there's brain development until mid 20s, but there's also like personality development.
Yeah,
And so, more or less, right here, I'm trying to kind of just constantly take, okay, what are my weaknesses? What are my mistakes? But then also great successes, great attributes and decisions and styles that I see in other leaders, other people, on any level
yeah,
for that matter. And I think, yeah, that self development, this is really that age, but then also that type of a place where you have so many different experiences with so many different people and styles of people that it
Exactly.
really, really enables you to kind of, if you're intentional about it, reflect, ideally journal. I don't do it enough, but I try to journal every now and then.
I love that.
Um, and kind of be like, okay, what what is the path that's right for me?
Yeah.
What do I need to get better at? What of mine do I need to embrace? What should I incorporate? All that kind of stuff. So yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't really tell you who I am right now, but I'm certainly doing my best to figure it out.
Yeah. And like you said, that happens through experiences, that happens throughout life. And that's a big part of what happens at Air Force.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So before we get into a fast run, I want to quickly put you on the hot seat. One last question. I know you mentioned the strength and condition coach. You guys kind of get to choose what music is played. Who are you giving the aux to on the team? Who is not getting the aux? And where do you factor in both of those?
I don't know if you have the roster. Uh, when we play music on the pool deck as well, um, I mean, I don't mind taking the aux. I have a
Okay.
decent country playlist, decent grunge playlist, but those are styles of music that I like.
Yeah.
Um, generally the team all likes everything, like rap, country, rock, everything.
Okay.
Um, I think Mac Nuval, he's now going to be a rising senior. Matthew Doty is one of our freshmen. I trust those two guys with the aux for sure. Um, our manager Alex Guild, I think he's pretty good with the aux.
Okay.
Um, some of the seniors when they occasionally take it, or I guess now graduating seniors, they can have some good days, they can have some interesting days.
Okay.
Um, and then all love to him, but Tucker Rice would not give that man the aux.
Why?
It his style, it's not as bad as a previous manager of ours. There's one previous manager, also loved that guy. Nobody would give him the aux. We had
Okay.
one day where the team combined to create a cue of, we called it his style music. And it was horrible. Um
Understandable.
but yeah, like Tucker listens to some good music, but I think he listens to a different style of music than the rest of the team. So I think
Yeah.
that there would be a few moments in practice where eyebrows would be raised.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe I have to listen to this set to understand it, but that obviously makes sense.
yeah, no, 100%. The most of the team's pretty good with the aux though.
Yeah.
We actually have a few guys who are getting into like DJing and mixing.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so they're really good with the music.
Good.
Yeah, Mac's really good at it actually.
Okay.
He's kind of the head guy on the team to do all that, and he's really talented.
Awesome. Well, love that. Don't want to take up too much more of your time, though. So I want to end on one last thing. This is what I've done with some swimmers, not all of them. It's a little bit of a thing called fast round. It's just mainly this or that type questions. So whenever you're ready, we can get started with those and end on those.
All right, let's hit it.
Awesome. Never use a swim cap again or never use goggles again.
Never use a cap. I'll just shave my head.
Okay. Race a 1000 IM or race a 400 butterfly.
Oh, that's twisted as hell.
Yeah.
Um, oh man, that's really bad. I'd die doing both. Four fly,
Four
400
fly.
fly.
Rip your brand new tech suit at your championship meet or forget it at home.
Forget it. I bring a spare. I'm not ripping that thing. No, no, sir.
Absolutely. Have to do an underwater kick set with drag sacks or a parachute.
We've done both. They both suck. Um, Parachute. I
Okay.
prefer to work with a parachute.
Understandable. Have no time to warm up before a race or no time to cool down after one?
No time to cool down. Or actually, it depends on the situation. No time
Okay.
to cool down for a fast round answer though.
Okay. Do you actually do your cool downs though?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Like 600 to 1,000 after every race.
Really? That's not a popular answer. I feel like most people say they don't do the full cool down. So, uh, uh, good for
I
you. Like, good for
I build
you.
up a lot of lactic acid, so I honestly do shorter warm ups. I just wouldn't get rid of it because I need the warm up to actually race well.
Okay.
Um, I can still race well without cooling down, but a long cool down really helps with my just flushing out the lactic acid. So I
Yeah.
do long cool downs.
Okay. Understandable. Not be allowed to dive off the black for your race or not be allowed to do any underwaters or pullouts.
Oh, not be allowed to dive.
Get first place but add 2 seconds from your best time or swim a best time and just miss the podium.
That depends on the meet. Um, I like racing myself. We'll go the best time
Love it. Swim without music or without teammates?
without music.
Have to swim a 25 with the bucket all the way full or swim with the rack at the heaviest weight?
Full bucket.
Full bucket. Have you done both?
Yeah.
Okay. Understandable.
I do. I really like both of them. So that's not too bad on either way.
Okay. You know, at least we got some easier ones. At least we got some better ones than the first couple, right?
Yeah. I would not do a 400 fly.
You would not do a 400 fly?
No.
No. Understandable. Waking up early for practice or a late evening practice?
All this answer changed in college. I'll take the morning practice because post practice breakfast is worth it.
What's your go-to breakfast?
Greek yogurt parfaits, with like blueberries, granola, oranges, honey, um, fruit smoothies, and or egg scrambles. Pretty
Okay.
much. Those
Those
are my
sound great.
favorites. Oh yeah.
Uh, you really buy into that eating healthy breakfast.
Do my best. Nutrition's one of the huge pillars for performance.
Absolutely. Even though swimmers, you can probably eat whatever you want for the most part.
If you make them good calories, it'll be even better.
Exactly. A warm pool or a cold pool?
Cold pool.
Cold pool.
Cold pool.
Do you believe warm pools are slow?
Yes, and they feel horrible.
Understandable. I've heard people say warm pools are slow, and I feel like that's only something swimmers probably understand.
100%. But yeah, no, warm pools. I'd rather be shivering and it kind of suck, but I have a fast race or a fast practice than sweating, feeling like I'm trying to swim in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. One last question. Swim on a relay with Reagan Smith as a leadoff backstroker or Caleb Dressel as your anchor freestyler?
Oh, that'd both be fun. Um, Reagan Smith. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I was just going to say, she is so dominant. It's so much fun watching her.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Same with Katie
No,
Ledecky, too.
Katie Ledecky is insane, like the most dominant athlete of all time. But yeah, no, Reagan Smith has a little bit of the Missy Franklin feel. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and I loved Missy Franklin growing up. So
Yeah, Missy
yeah,
Franklin was awesome.
so cool. She was dope.
Absolutely. But no, thank you so much for joining. Sorry it's taken so long. I really hope it was worth your time. Really hope you had fun. I know we've been talking about this for a little while, so I really appreciate you being able to join, make this work. I know you have a busy day tomorrow, so I do apologize about the length of it, but hopefully it was worth your time, man.
No worries, absolutely. Ton of fun, and yeah, we just have a parade tomorrow morning, so it'll be relaxed. I'll get a nap, and yeah, it was a great time on this podcast. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I mean, it means a lot to kind of be able to talk about sports in this kind of a situation. So yeah, a lot of fun for me. Really appreciate you, Zach.
Absolutely. And one thing I always say to anyone that ever joins is if you ever want to come back on, the door is always open. Would love to have you possibly back on in the future. No pressure to do so, but would be fun talking a little bit more about swimming. But yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a good night.
Absolutely. And that is a wrap to episode number 578. Thank you again to Tanner for joining and tune in to the next episode.